Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're having a good Friday. I didn't have time to make new charts today, so I thought maybe this time we'll look back at the charts I created within the last 2 weeks and see if we could find anything to buy. So as a full-time trader in the traditional stock market, crypto, and even now NFTs, one thing that I look for is volume, because volume is the main determining factor when the price is going to go up, because that tells you new buyers are stepping in. So let's go ahead and look at some of these older projects and see if we could find anything with increasing volume. So the first one we're looking at is Desperate Ape Wives, and one thing I like to look for is a consolidation of low volume and then a nice big volume spike, because that's telling me that new buyers are coming in. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look over here, see if we could see. Right now there's a nice low consolidation, but we're not seeing a big volume spike. Now there is this volume spike that is bigger than the previous two, but in comparison to the last month, we're not seeing anything huge. So it's a good sign to see that it's bigger than the last two, but it's not big enough for me to be interested in buying in. So for this one, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it because it does have the potential tomorrow to make an even bigger volume spike, and if that happens, then I'd be interested. Okay, another one, Bored Ape Yacht Kennel. So as you can see, the consolidation right here. Here was the volume spike that we missed, and as you can see, the price did go up. Right now we're at another consolidation and we're just waiting for a big volume spike, so moving on to the next one. Alright, so Doodles, it's nice to see increasing volume, but we're not seeing anything major, so still sitting on the sidelines. Alien Friends, not looking good. So this next one, Swampverse, as you can see, this current day's candle is already multiple times bigger than the previous days, so that's a good sign. However, I'm not quite yet interested to buy because I want to see if this trend continues. So personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back tomorrow. I'm going to see if the volume bar is continuing to increase, and if it does, then I'll be interested in buying into this collection. Alright, so moving on, Crypto Toads, not looking very good. Deadfellas. This one's looking pretty good. Increasing volume, increasing price. Looks like the floor is almost at 3 Ethereum right now, so it's pretty much priced out of most people interested in NFTs. Because spending 10 grand on an NFT is pretty high risk, if you know what I'm saying. But just looking at the charts right here, it does look like it wants to continue to go up. Now, if I saw this kind of volume increase and the price was lower, I'd definitely be buying in right now. But at, over $10,000 per NFT, very high risk tolerance right there. And I just don't feel like allocating that much of my capital into this project. Alright, so next up, it looks like for this particular set of projects, I made two. I made a 1 hour chart and a daily chart. And for this one, you could see, from this is probably the art reveal or the public sale is usually when we get the biggest volume spike. We just been continually going down from then, and the volume has never picked back up. So this is a clear indication of a dead project. Alright, moving on. Metaverse Cool Cats. Also decreasing volume, not looking good. So Metaverse Cool Cats is a prime example of why I say I wait until the next day and see that day's volume to see if I want to enter into that trade. Because if you just go by this volume spike, you'll definitely see that it's multiple times bigger than the previous days, so that's a great sign. But I want to see more than 1 day of volume growth before I put my money into the project. But most importantly, as you can see, the daily volume for this one is only 5 Ethereum that day. That's basically nothing. One person can do that volume. And it could possibly quite even be manipulation, like one person selling that same NFT to themselves at a very high price, which then brings the floor price up. So we do have to be mindful of manipulation here because it does happen and it's really important to spot. All right, moving on, Links DAO. This is how a project normally looks. We got, like, for example, the pre-sale, the public sale, and then there's the wait, and then the reveal, the artwork reveal, and then after artwork reveal there's usually a decrease in price and volume. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened in this particular instance, but I do see that happening in a lot of projects. So if I'm buying into a project before the artwork has been revealed, then I'm trying to trade it and sell it before the artwork is revealed. Because at that time the artwork is revealed, people with less desirable traits sell it at a lower price, and that just keeps bringing down the floor lower and lower, and that's when we see the floor fall out. All right, moving on, Prime Ape Planet, looking pretty bad. Fancy Bears, looking pretty bad. In-betweeners, looking pretty bad. Psychedelics Anonymous, bad. NBAYC, bad. So nothing looks good out of this series of charts. So here's another list of charts. What we're looking at right here is Space Bulls, decreasing volume. New buyers never stepped in. Koodles, decreasing volume. Project's basically dead. Oxy Origin, decreasing volume. It's looking dead. In-betweeners, it's looking dead. NFT Board Bunny, not looking good. Still a lot of volume. I mean, 100 Ethereum per day, so that's a good amount of volume, but I don't like the fact that the volume is decreasing. So if you're looking to go long, if you're looking to buy it and sell it at a profit, now is not the time to do that. All right, moving on. Now it's 3D. Not looking good. As you can see, the price is increasing, so people might think if they're only looking at price, they might think it's good. But I'm telling you, because there's no trading volume here, this is going to tank. So I'd definitely be staying out of this one. All right, Wonks. Decreasing volume. Doesn't look good. Spiritly. Or Spritly. Doesn't look good. Now, before I buy an NFT, of course, I'll look at when's the pre-sale, the public sale, and when's the art reveal, because those are the three main things that affect the price. Now, if this particular day was the art reveal, then I would not be interested because I try to avoid the reveal date, just because, like I mentioned before, people try to undercut each other and the floor falls out because they're trying to sell those undesirable traits. But let's just say, for example, that this was not the art reveal and this was just in the middle of the project. I would have seen the large volume spike. I would have been keeping my eye on it because it would have been looking good. I would have waited to the next day. I would have saw that the volume is staying pretty high. It's not as high, but it's still higher. This day is still higher than all the previous days. So on this day, I probably would have bought in, and then the price continues to go down. So I didn't take this trade, but I want to show you what I look for and then what I look for when I want to exit. So I would have bought in right here, and I would have been expecting increasing volume or a consistent price. And then the very next day is a lowering of the floor price and barely any volume. Now, to me, seeing that incredibly low volume on this day right here, I would have wanted to sell. So I would have probably took a small loss here. So basically what I'm trying to tell you here is you want to see the volume consistently increasing or just not going back to how it was prior to the bumps. See right here, it's at 8 Ethereum floor, and then over here on this day, it's at 10 Ethereum floor. So it's basically the same. So lower volume here than the previous lows prior to this bump right here. So here I just cut my losses, move on. And as you can see, new volume never stepped in, and then the price continues to go lower. Now this particular one is probably going to continue to go lower because we're not seeing any new buyers stepping in. So Fancy Bears, we already went over this one, not looking good at this moment. Alright, so this next one, the Secret Society, we're seeing increasing volume. Now for this one right now, this is the current day, and the current day doesn't close for about 4 hours, so whatever buying and selling happens right now, it's going to continue to make this bar go higher. So we have 4 more hours worth of trading for this to continue to go higher. So that's going to show an increase in volume for the past 3 days if that happens. So it's looking good here, but it's not looking great because ideally we'd want to see something like this, like a long period of low volume before we see these big volume spikes. Right now it was only 2 days of low volume. So that's not really enough consolidation for this to be an A+ setup. Now right now it's a B setup, but it's not an A+. Alright, this next one, Chubby Kaiju. Decreasing volume, not looking good. Fortress Arena. Yeah, so this one, it's basically dead. Even though we're getting these big spikes, if you take a look, the daily volume is only 2.6 Ethereum. I mean, one person can do that. The previous day, look, only 0.12 Ethereum. So this project looks like no one's really buying and selling it. So I'd just stay clear of this one. All right, another one, decreasing volume, not looking good. So I hope by now you can see a pattern forming. It seems that The pre-sale, the public sale, and the art reveal. You get the most volume, you got the most buying, you got the most profit potential, and then from that point, the price usually just continues to drop off until it's basically nothing. But there are rare occasions when, months later down the road in the project, we get a nice big volume spike, and then that's what gets me interested in buying into the project. All right, so here we are with my most recent created graph. I created this one yesterday, so a lot of these NFTs and this project are still within the public sale and the art reveal, so we still have to look forward to that in some of these projects. So I believe for this one, Azuki, the art reveal is today, and that's why we're seeing large volume like this. Now, if I didn't know the artwork was today, I would be seeing these large volume spikes and I would be saying, wow, this looks good to buy. Look at all these buyers. But because all these buyers are here because it's the art reveal, it just makes me cautious. Because usually, after the art reveal, the price goes down. So if we just use our education from past projects, it kind of tells us that we're going to be seeing the next few days of decreasing price and decreasing volume. Now, if that doesn't happen and we see even higher increasing volume and even higher prices, then most likely this is going to explode in price because it's doing the opposite of what people expect it to do. So moving on to the top, Metroverse. This project is too new to use these bar graphs to make a trade decision. The Anemoon, decreasing volume, not looking good right now. Frankenpunks, decreasing volume, not looking good. Warp Sound, we're seeing an increase in volume, but this particular day isn't anything special compared to the previous day or the day before that. It's not anything big, so I wouldn't really be focusing on investing into this project right now, but it would be something that I'd keep on my radar. So right now I have about 3 NFTs on my radar from these charts that I've looked at today. Moving on, X Rabbits, definitely a no-no. Little Heroes, this is one to keep an eye on. We have a lot of volume every day, almost 700 Ethereum. So that means a lot of eyes are on it. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on for sure. CO1 official, not looking good. FOMO Momo is not looking good. Nudie community, not looking good. Kaiju Queens, so much volume for this particular day. Compared to the previous days, it must be the artwork reveal or maybe the public sale. But either way, looking at the blue line, that's the floor price, we're seeing a decrease in price. So a large volume spike with a decrease in price is definitely a no-go. To me, that shows that there's big wallets just selling in masses. Now this next one, Meta Doge Club, this one looks really interesting. I didn't do research on this one because I didn't have time in the last video. So because it went up almost double the price in one day, I feel like I missed the entry on this one. And because the project is only 4 days old, I'm not sure about the public sale and the art reveal yet. So I definitely would have to see when those dates are, but this is one to definitely keep an eye on because we're seeing a lot of price action. Alright guys, those are the charts that I've created over the past 2 weeks. And if I got time later this weekend, I'll create some new charts on the top NFTs that are being posted in this channel today. Alright, talk to you later.